and then or what? Yeah, I was bet on Elvis. I didn't win with Galis. I'm like, oh, I want to win some money, so I better use that.
I think I actually got it to work. Surprisingly. I might have actually got it to work.
Yay!
I mean, it's not gonna look good, but, well, I don't care right at this moment. I honestly do not care.
Yeah, it looks like the channel's coming online.
So, I'm glad I fixed it, but it's not gonna look good because it's just gonna repeat itself for a while. Okay. Alright. And,
Oh, Slappy is using chosen grounds.
alright, let's go live.
Yeah,
3,
he's doing the same.
2, 1, go. Alright. Hello, Twitch chat. This is the People's Cast. We are streaming live the Wildcards match between slappydavis and elvisnake. Your casters here are Yeshua, Teetery, and Catnip.
Hi there.
And we're starting off already. So, Slappy used Chosen Grounds and changed Gallery Nonate to Panop Nonate. And Elvis used Clear Infatuation and Amateur, forcing him to reveal his ST. And Slappy, before the match starts, as a spy, and he cannot hit green tests as a spy either.
Yes, and Slappy used Amateur right back at Elvis, which means there should be no green tests in this match.
And it looks like he's about to use another Chosen Grounds. The plays are coming out. This looks like this is going to be one of the first main wild cards just being thrown out like crazy. This is insane.
Yeah, my prediction is he's going to change to another pan-op. Just because he changed to 3 different pan-ops against me, and now he's already changed one map to pan-op. Yep, here we go.
High rise to Panop.
Surprise, surprise. Well, Slappy did have 10 chosen grounds before this map, so now he has 8. Well, so he's pretty free to throw those around.
And hopefully we're good with everyone. I hope I can hear what's going on. If you're having issues hearing chat, let me know, and then I can try to fix stuff. Might as well tell me now before the match starts, and then I'm trying to fix stuff while the match is going on. Triple Panop. This will be crazy. I think Slappy bought 10 Chosen Grounds or something crazy. He bought a lot, and they're strong.
Well,
I mean,
he was
I think he bought even more because he used 3 of them last week, and before this week's match started, he had 10.
Yeah, he certainly, either way, he certainly has a lot of them. Maybe he's just going to change 2 of the maps to pan-op in every set.
And also Slappy placed Booklover on himself, making microfilm missions worth 2 points instead of just 1.
Oh, and also Clear Infatuation on elvisnake.
Yep.
So both of them have to reveal their selection targets to each other.
And slappydavis uses Sticky Lie. So already known 8 is quite a wildcard match and quite a unusual match, and weird stuff might happen. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wildcards used in one match.
Yeah, I mean, last week we barely had any wildcards played, and then all of a sudden the floodgates are opening.
Perhaps the first week the players weren't really sure on how would they affect the game, and now they've gotten at least a little bit of feel about it, and now they're more willing to do so. Also, I think it's because it's known 8. It's, you know, throwing the normal strategies even more way off.
Yeah, I think another thing might be at first people were hesitant to play them because they didn't want to be mean, if that makes sense. Like, obviously the whole point of this tournament is the wild cards and contracts and all that, but I can see it not feeling sporting, and like you don't want to be the first one to do it, and then people start playing them in general, and then you feel yourself more inclined to play them. Also, I think the wild cards that they sold this week were just generally more useful, or at least more value than the ones that they sold last week. Like last week, Faulty Scope was really good, but it was so expensive. Like even if you could use Faulty Scope to bring a match that you otherwise would have lost to a complete win, that's just a profit of $500, and it's potentially a risk.
Perhaps. I think it's also, you know, since people started using wildcards a bit more, they perhaps also feel that, you know, if I'm not gonna use them, they're gonna be used on me. So at least they wanna try to level the ground a little bit. And regarding the buys, I actually really like that Iceman took into account like all the feedback about contracts, especially not being exactly worth enough and all that.
And Elvis did not buy contracts this game, but I did like the changes they made to the price. I felt like they were a lot more bang for their buck. A lot of risk reward, which I feel like should be rewarded in this kind of setting with these crazy wild cards.
Yeah, I think this week, especially Return the Guest List is probably the most useful and sort of doable.
Well, I'm not sure you can have Return the Guest, because that was last week's contract, unless am I misunderstanding?
That was the last week. The ones this week are Procrastination, which is time out successfully. Completing a full talk animation while you're holding a briefcase. So that one is really, really hard to do, but super rewarding. And I think that was the only one. There might be one more. Not 100%.
The last one is single-minded, and that is you can't get if you have progress on one mission, you can't complete or get progress on another mission.
Yeah.
Yes, and including and considering green test, let's say for Swap or Purloin, the mission has to be checked before the player can move on to the next.
And that would be especially hard with Seducing, because you would need to at least 3 foot if you had that thing on.
True.
Alright, we're starting off. Elvis is top hat. On veranda, no Nate. Missions equals points.
Just innocently walks by the Emba. Bugging would have been super obvious there, so that was the correct choice. Goes for early statues, which I think is interesting. That's going to earn him a highlight, which potentially could hurt him later, but we'll see. He is ignoring his action tests, which seems to be the safest way to go about having amateur played on you.
That's true.
Mostly just idling now, though. Not even really trying to flirt, although part of that is because his seduction target is at statues now. Goes to the red bookcase. It seems like potentially he was hoping to cheese, but Slappy is on top of it. So if he wants to do it, he'll have to wait for a while till Slappy is gone. But with both Toby and the ambassador on this side, Slappy is watching it closely just for that alone.
This map is very important with field of view. Shifting from left to right and making sure that nothing really escapes your view is quite important, especially if the ambassador and Toby is shifted to one side. Most of the sniper's attention also drifts that direction as well.
Yeah, unfortunate banana bread there. The double agent leaves just as he starts it. I was wondering if he was going to try to get a bug in that conversation, because it seemed like even though there was a person between them, he could have been close enough.
Any bugs get shot, so
Gets only 2 points.
Yeah, the bug and transfer combo was pretty interesting.
Oh, what have I done?
Yeah, certainly, if he had gotten away with that, that would have been really big, but Slappy, I think, was mostly on top of the transfer.
So I'm terrible and was putting up the overlay for the entire time on this stream. My apologies. So Elvis got away with 2 missions.
They can tell what's going on.
Yeah, just picture perfect casting. But Elvis got 2 missions done. Slappy needs to complete 3 to win, 2 to tie.
Yeah, so I expect him to play this pretty slowly, pretty carefully. Even if he just seduces and contacts, that'll get him to a tie, and then he can do something crazy like a crash bug or a purloin. And even with just that, he'll win right off the bat.
Well, but seduce is not gonna be as usually, or at least not as... It will be more suspicious because they both have clear infatuations on them.
That's a good point, actually. So possibly he'll go for some other soft tells like fingerprint or inspect. But yeah, I didn't consider that. Seduce definitely going to be more easy to watch.
Well, considering Slappy needs only 3 missions, I don't think clear infatuation is that harmful or that significant. But still, trying to play safe and less obvious would use much more time.
Yeah, I mean, on this sort of setup, or on this sort of position that Elvis is in, with knowing that Slappy only needs 3 missions to complete, I would expect Elvis to be paying more attention to things like the seduction target and soft kills in general, because he would imagine Slappy would play it safe. And also for him, of course, to be more aggressive, because if Slappy can get those 3 missions, he just completely wins. So
that's true.
So one strategy for Slappy is possibly just to hope that Elvis takes the wrong shot, because Elvis is going to have to be aggressive.
And I mean, if things get really dire and Elvis isn't shooting, he can just inspect swap, and yeah, he takes a shot because he's concerned he could be done.
Shot.
And he had to take a risk there, hoping that he caught him off before he had completed those missions. And Slappy will take the first map. Elvis, being the loser, will get to pick if he wants to spy or snipe first on this map, which is pan up. The next 2 matches the next set will also be pan up.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of this map in this set.
I wouldn't be surprised if we were to be seeing a lot of this map in overall Slappy's matches.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be his favorite map, given his use of the chosen grounds in both this match and last week's match.
Well, last match he said he used chosen ground in order to mitigate the possible effects of clear infatuation. But with this one, and Elvis gets caught with the purloin.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
He has to white test it too. He has to white test.
Oh right,
They both have to white test everything.
Had to be a white test?
And he's just staring at it.
I feel like that was a poor choice.
He gets 1 mission done. So
yeah, now his only choice is to shoot right away.
Pretty much shoot right.
Yeah.
Shoot right away, pretty much. I mean, Slappy is now the spy, and he has to do 1 mission to tie, 2 missions to win. So, not going to be too much of a task. Elvis might take just a random shot and pray for the best.
Yeah, for possibly weird-looking path at the very beginning.
As long as Slappy isn't orange dress, I think he's safe.
Yeah,
Well, sometimes even orange dress can be safe.
If I was Elvis, I would say go for the tie on this and hope maybe to catch someone after they've completed 1 mission, but before they've completed 2. But of course, even that is going to be very difficult. That's like something, maybe just shoot for the first talker you see during a banana bread, or shoot the first person who goes to center statues, or something like that.
There's also an interesting choice by Elvis to spy first. It seems to be more beneficial to snipe first and make your opponent set the bar, but he wanted to make a challenge Slappy to do it. And there's the microfilm transfer, and that's the tie.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting choice, but getting away with it, I think, makes it pretty much impossible.
And Slappy did tell me that he does have the time ad contract and also the briefcase contract.
Yeah, it looks
where
like he's
gonna try to do it here.
Contract right now.
But I mean, he's got the tie. I'm surprised he wouldn't just guarantee the win. But will he get it?
I think maybe he's confident enough in being able to beat Elvis even if he ties this game. And he really just wants that reward for the fake ambassador contract.
If he ties or wins, he gets the money. So he will be getting it if he finishes this talk animation.
And I think
and he's going for a second talk animation now. I think just trying to rack up the points while Elvis is worrying about other things. He certainly has a lot of cover for that briefcase. Although Elvis could have gotten a small glimpse of it there. No, the wrong shot comes off.
And he does shoot orange dress. But going for it. And he will get the money for completing a full talk animation. I don't know if he got 2 in there, but I think he definitely got at least 1.
Yeah, it's funny because if he didn't finish that second talk animation, it would have been because Elvis's shot actually came off before the cycle ended.
We might have to watch the replays afterwards and see if he got 2 off and got twice the reward for that. That would be quite the feat. So now Elvis will get to pick again, like if he wants to spy or snipe first on Panop. And he's spied first both times. Does he want to continue down this path? We'll see.
I think spying first might be mentally beneficial if you're the kind of person that wants to have the control in their own hands. Because, if you snipe first, then yes, you know how many missions you need to complete in order to win. But on the other hand, if your opponent gets by with 5 or even 6 missions, then you have the stress of the need to do almost everything.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things, just having all that much control as sniper, knowing exactly how many missions you can allow the spy to get done before you have to shoot is potentially a really big advantage that Elvis just seems to be favoring over the advantage of knowing how many missions you have to get done.
So now, since Slappy is in the lead of 2-0, he might be more aggressive here and just to catch an early win.
Yeah, I think he might also go for some time ads or possible more briefcase talks, trying to rack up more of those contract rewards. He didn't get any time ads last game, but he did get the briefcase talk.
On the other hand, if Slappy intentionally loses this one game, or just he still has 2 more for contract.
That also is a possible strategy. I'm not sure how much Slappy would want to risk maybe throwing the match just to get a couple more contracts in. I think if things get close, he might play more safe, but so far not doing much, and he gets the bug.
Yeah, that was a solid wrong arm bug, and then he has a weird
stop with a diagonal
like...
angle at the bookshelf.
But the sniper was not looking at him, so he gets away with it.
Yeah, so now he's got it, but last game he transferred really early, but this is just going to be an innocent bug, which is probably the best because Elvis is looking right at him.
I think also Slappy might have played Book Lover on himself. I don't remember. There's a humongous list of Wildcards Slappy played.
Yeah, Slappy did use Book Lover
So,
on himself.
yeah. So he gets 2 points
so
for completing that. So yeah, he already had 1 at that point. That's what.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he had done that. I just double checked. Yeah, he did. And incorrect shot
from Elvis.
What did she do?
I'm not sure what he saw there. He didn't need to be as aggressive with his shots this time.
Yeah, I think he should have been very cautious. Very cautious losing by 2 maps.
Maybe, I think it was probably the BB. He saw her talking during the BB and assumed it was her. I mean, Slappy's been playing very aggressive and getting early and correct shots, so maybe Elvis felt pressured to step up and try to weed him out early, but doesn't get it.
But does that kind of risk really work in this format, I wonder?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really feel worth it.
Especially if it's early in the game, you're risking full 8 points in order to, just 1 or 2 off for the opponent, especially when you're losing by 2 maps.
I mean, it worked for Slappy. Getting those early points really secured him those first 2 maps.